Parliament in Cape Town was thrown into absolute chaos today as Democratic Alliance (DA) leader John Steenhuisen dramatically confronted President Cyril Ramaphosa with what he described as irrefutable legal proof of the president's alleged involvement in serious misconduct. In an atmosphere charged with tension, Steenhuisen's revelation sent shockwaves through the National Assembly, leaving ANC MPs scrambling to defend their leader while opposition benches erupted in a chorus of "accountability now." The confrontation unfolded during a heated parliamentary session, initially expected to focus on routine debates about economic recovery and governance. But the moment Steenhuisen took the floor, the tone shifted dramatically. Brandishing a stack of documents, Steenhuisen declared that South Africans deserved the truth, insisting that the papers he held were not mere accusations but binding legal evidence that pointed directly at the president. "Mr. President," Steenhuisen thundered across the chamber, his voice reverberating through the walls, "for months you have dodged, deflected, and denied. But today, before this parliament and the people of South Africa, I present legal documents that show your hands are not clean. These are not rumors, these are not allegations, this is proof." The chamber fell into a stunned silence before exploding into chaos. ANC MPs shouted in protest, calling the revelation a political stunt, while EFF MPs pounded on their desks in support of Steenhuisen's demand for immediate answers. The speaker struggled to maintain order as members from all sides shouted over one another, creating a storm of accusations and counter-accusations. Although Steenhuisen stopped short of reading out the full content of the documents, he revealed that they included affidavits, financial records, and sworn testimonies that allegedly link Ramaphosa to questionable dealings. The opposition leader claimed the evidence had already been verified by independent legal experts and submitted to oversight bodies. South Africa cannot continue under the leadership of a man who hides behind carefully worded denials while the truth is buried in legal filings and sealed documents, Steenhuisen declared. "The evidence is clear, Mr. President. You owe this country answers, not tomorrow, not next week, today." Ramaphosa, visibly shaken but maintaining composure, responded with sharp denial. Rising to his feet, he condemned Steenhuisen's claims as reckless, unfounded, and malicious. The president accused the DA leader of grandstanding and warned against turning parliament into a theater of conspiracy theories. Honorable Steenhuisen has paraded documents without context, without verification, and without due process, Ramaphosa insisted. South Africans must be wary of opposition leaders who thrive on sensationalism instead of contributing constructively to solving our nation's problems. "I have nothing to hide, and I welcome proper, lawful investigation." But Steenhuisen was not backing down. With an unwavering tone, he demanded that the president step aside pending a full parliamentary inquiry, arguing that the gravity of the legal proof left no room for business as usual. "You cannot lead this nation while sitting under the cloud of such serious allegations. Leadership demands transparency, accountability, and integrity, and right now, Mr. President, you are failing all three." The confrontation escalated to such an extent that the speaker was forced to suspend the sitting temporarily, calling for calm as MPs engaged in heated shouting matches. Outside Parliament, the news spread like wildfire, igniting fierce debate among citizens, analysts, and commentators. Social media platforms lit up within minutes, with hashtags calling for Ramaphosa's resignation trending across the country. Political analysts have described the moment as one of the most dramatic confrontations in recent parliamentary history. Some argue that Steenhuisen has raised the stakes to an unprecedented level, effectively cornering the president in a battle for credibility. Others caution that unless the legal documents are made public and tested in a court of law, the confrontation risks being dismissed as a political strategy rather than a legitimate call for accountability. Whatever the outcome, today's events have undeniably shifted the political landscape. Steenhuisen's explosive revelation has placed Ramaphosa under intense pressure, with the possibility of an official inquiry looming large. For many South Africans already grappling with disillusionment in politics, the showdown marks a turning point that could either expose deep-rooted corruption or trigger a backlash against opposition theatrics. As Parliament reconvenes in the coming days, all eyes will be on whether Steenhuisen makes good on his promise to release the documents to the public, and whether Ramaphosa can weather this storm without irreparable damage to his presidency. One thing is certain: the fight for truth and accountability in South Africa has entered a new and volatile phase.